and gentlemen, it's another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. We are two smugglers flying through space at hyper speed with little news stuck down into all the crevasses inside our excellent ship, and that ship gets abducted sometimes by larger ships, and we run in and we're like guns blazing. We're like, "You're not taking our news, fools! Pew 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 pew! Zip zap zip zap! Pa pa pa! And they're like, I'm dead now. And we're like, take that. We'll take your whole ship and all the news that you have too. Blah, 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 blah. And then we free everybody and it's great. And everybody runs off. And they're like, Horseshoe Hand Grenades is the greatest people ever. I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by Ashley. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
You timed that to the music really well. That was impressive.
I have been doing this for 15 years of my life. And I think that I should be good at this point. There are times, let me tell you something, Ashley. There are times when you are a person who realizes that they're good at what they do. It's not often for me. It's actually fairly rare. I spend most days wondering if I'm good at anything. But I sit down at this Orbiting HQ desk on Thursday nights and I go, dag dabbit, I'm a good podcaster. And then we go, that this is the most confident I get to be at any point in my week. I'm not a confident father. I'm not a confident husband. I'm not a confident brotato. But dagnabbit, I feel good about talking on the internet to my friends.
I feel like that's the most backwards thing I've ever heard. You're a really good daddy, and you're really annoying brotato because you steal my husband.
I do. I think it's more about there's no real stakes here. There's no real potential for failure, and that makes me feel good.
Adam, do we remind him that he forgot your music? Lol.
No, don't tell me that. Listen, I'm not a great producer. I'm great at talking. How would that be? That's great on your tombstone. What did you do with your life? I talked at people for a while, and they thought it was fun.
Was a great talker.
Was great talker. Still talking. Don't open coffin.
Wait, do you want to be coffinated or do you want to be burninated?
I mean, if we make it there and we're not just all consumed by flame, I prefer burninating. Probably seems like a good move.
So either way, you're good.
Yeah, I think I don't really care. I'm going to be dead. A lot of people put a lot of thought into when they're dead. I don't really care what happens when I'm dead, but I want the people who are going to make me dead know that I'm okay with whatever they want to do. What is it? The cheapest thing.
So, yeah, right. The cardboard box. Sweet, please.
This is our most modestly priced receptacle.
The bin. So, Steven and I were together last night, as was the rest of my quarantine bubble. But I have the best. I don't know that Steven cared, or he might have been trying to leave, or it might have sounded. Maybe it was my mom. Anyway, so I have this really good idea. So, if you're going to die and you're going to die poorly, I want to start a company that helps you die funly. And I want it to be legal because it's bullshit that it's not legal, that you cannot help someone, you cannot assist someone into the afterlife screaming in happiness as opposed to dying of vegetable or dying of jock itch or whatever crappy way there is to go out, right? So if you get a doctor's note...
Die of jock itch? That's so horrible. I scratched so hard I pierced my artery.
my scrotum exploded and it pierced my mouth.
Jock itch deaths are the worst. Sorry.
My uncle kept his own pine box and kept it under his bed. Is this?
No one has to buy one.
What? I mean, I guess that's really how tall is your uncle's bed?
What, dude? My mom puts her beds up on 6-inch stilettos. They're in the air.
Well,
mostly
how
because
tall
storage.
Our bed is.
Yeah, y'all's bed is climbing Mount Everest. I just summited Ashley and Jacob's bed and I planted a flag up there. It's mine now. We'll reach base camp tomorrow. Yeah.
Like, if you want to climb to the top of a mountain, but you're not a mountain climber, like, you know what? You go. Here's something to help it be fun. Here's some drugs so
Yes.
you're not uncomfortably freezing to death. So when you freeze to death, you just pop some LSD, you enjoy the ride. Like, you want to take a Porsche off the Grand Canyon, we'll film it on the way down so you're screaming in happiness. And if it was a good scream, then we'll show your family like this is the way your dad went out, as opposed to that, having to inject his dick with mercury because he had syphilis. Like, it's okay. So if you this is my thing. If you can make the argument, which our government has made, that abortion is legal, right? So that you are in control of your body, then you should be able to be assisted in leaving your body.
Yeah, and you'd think that would be more approved, you know? Like, because it's, like, really yours. Like, no one else is involved in this. It's your
Right.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I support this plan. I have no problem with
and
it.
if you want to be like a butthole about it, which our government occasionally is, you get a doctor's note. The doctor says, yeah, the death that this person has coming is going to suck. And they have a DNR. So if they have a stroke, they're just going to wilt away in a bed somewhere and their loved ones are just going to have to go, man, that seems like a really shitty death. Here's a mint lollipop for you to suck on because you can't swallow. F that. Send me off the Grand Canyon or put me like on a. No, don't put me in the ocean. I don't want to be eaten by things. How
No.
would you go? How would you choose to go?
Oh, man. If I was, like, building my own I'm gonna die package.
Yes.
Something blunt force trauma to the head is the only thing I can think of that would make sure that it was quick and over easy, not like not like I'm just gonna get hit with a baseball bat. That's boring.
Okay, I'm like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, quickly in my sleep.
I wouldn't charge
preferable.
for that.
I would go in my sleep. That seems like a better option.
If you were gonna pay, like, okay, so if the doctor came up to you and said you've got fungal jochic hepatitis and your butt's gonna fall out in the next 6 months slowly, like, what's that bug that disintegrates because it got a fungus anyway? Like, and like, okay, so we've got this package. You can drive a car off the Grand Canyon. You can run and jump off the Grand Canyon. You can skydive without a parachute. You can climb Mount Everest and we'll give you some drugs. You can just sit in a room and take some drugs. You can have some hookers inject you with shit.
This menu is really it's got a lot of variety to it. That wouldn't be bad, like going up to Mount Everest, like, but I'd have to get there. But then, like, taking some LSD and going, this is a nice ride, and did not being able to breathe the thin air. That would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Suffocation seems bad. I just keep thinking, like, I don't know that I would be able to drive a car. What if I drive the car so fast off the mountain and it, like, doesn't kill me? Like, what if I just, like, lay there in a bloody pulp? That sounds terrible. I need a guarantee that I'm gonna go, like, boom, and it's just lights out, done.
So there we would
Smothered in boobs. Smothered in boobs. Well done, Zafo.
Who said that?
Zafo. He wants to be smothered in boobs.
Did you ever see the Futurama episode where the Amazon women were like, snoo,
I remember the snoo. But I don't know that I watched it. I just remember being a
thing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and weak. Such a good show.
I need to go back to that. What would you do? What would be your thing?
So I wouldn't want to be cold. So F the climbing crap. I think I would just be like, you know what? Take me like on one last scuba trip and then just shoot up my oxygen tank with something.
Oh. So you, like, pass out and then you're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dead. Like, take me to the bottom of the ocean, let me enjoy my tank of oxygen, and then just at some point I can hit a button and then I see pretty colors and you insta dead, like your head explodes or something and you feed sharks.
Yeah, it's got to be, like, I don't want to lay there. Like, you were talking about the whole ice chip thing or the lollipop thing I remember my grandpa was just so sick. He was so sick, and he just laid there, and everybody just stayed in the room looking at him. It was the
Right?
worst. It was the worst thing because, like, nobody really knew what to say or do, and it's like nobody was really ready for it in a sense.
Crap.
Like, oh my gosh, it's just the worst. You know what I really admire? I wouldn't be able to do this, but I admire it because I read this book called Rules for a Night. Jacob's familiar with it. I like recommending it to people. But the last thing that the knight does is he has to die or face death, right? So the knight puts on all of his armor and rides off on his horse, and he's gone for like 3 days. And then he rides back in looking super sick, gets off his horse. He doesn't have any of his armor on anymore. He gets in bed and he dies. Done. Like, none of this, like, sitting around shenanigans. He was toast. But he went and rode off. He had to give up his armor on his own. It was a really poignant little story. I appreciated it.
Yeah. That book is... Jacob used to read it to me every night. It was really sweet.
It's got lots of good little anecdotes in it. You know what else has anecdotes, though? Horseshoes and hand grenades does. It's got lots of little anecdotes. Apparently, there's a lot of penises in this show. I'd like to give everybody a warning. It's a penis-heavy show. I don't get the notes. Ashley doesn't get the notes. Jacob is a fan of penises. What we know is Jacob loves penises. He loves to put them in the notes. He loves to put them on his face. Jacob's a penis lover, and we don't judge him for that.
I will brag about my husband until the sun goes down, but I don't know that it would just flop out on his own face.
You don't think he could put his penis on his own face? I thought everybody could do that.
He could if there was but he just doesn't lay down in bed and like it doesn't unfurl and hit him in the chin.
I thought everyone had that problem. My bad. Just me? Said.
You know the scene in Die Hard where John McClane ties the fire hose around him and jumps out of the window?
Yes.
Steve's like, I don't need the fire.
It's like Indiana Jones is like, swing over the cave. Got it.
Yes! Head gamer! The one is deep, dude.
Man, the water's cold. I used to have a sound clip of that. I'll have to find it now because you got me.
Do your thing. Do your thing. You're doing so good. The mustard biscuits.
Oh man, it's been too long. You just a boy. You ought not talk like that. Where is my sound clips for? No, this isn't over. This isn't over. Sound clips.
I bet you know where the fart one is.
Joke. I got it. Sling blade joke. Booyah. Here it goes.
Two fellers standing on a bridge. You're going to the bathroom. One feller says that the water is cold. Other feller said the water is deep. I believe one feller come from Arkansas. Get it?
That's how I tell jokes.
He told it so bad.
That's how I tell it. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Steven would like just every time Steven and Jacob see mustard, they will sit and like do the little ferret hands thing and push their jaw out. Yeah, it's just I've got so many videos of them doing that.
What you got in there that's good to eat? Mm-hmm.
That's a daily comment.
I'll take him french fried tater and there's a mustard and love it. Billy Bob Thornton does not look like Carl from Sling Blade, and I know it's him, but I watched him. He doesn't do it. He won't do it for anybody ever, but he was on Charlie Rose or something, and he was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. His face just like mutated into Carl's face. I was like, what? It just happened. It's very rare. Like it's like
hurt. You had to like.
Yeah, he said it was actually really painful to make that face, but he's like, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. And it's just like, and he's just gone. You just see Carl. It's freaking amazing. Look it up. It's great. Did I do
I
the
just
factoid?
like how vehemently you said mutated. That was fun.
I did mutated. He's an anamorph, but not an animal.
My dad would not let me. Those books were so good, and I love those books. And then at one point, my dad's like, and I want you reading these. And I'm like, have you seen the shit that you let me watch when I was half this age, and now I can't read this because Tobias is an eagle? Meh.
No, you can. It's like, don't read this, and he hands you a copy of Fear Street. R.L. Stein.
Yeah, I could read that.
This
I
is
could read
safer.
I could read the adult books, but not the ones aimed at children.
Your dad probably heard that from somebody at church, that Animorphs were some sort of devil book.
He read the back of one or something, and he was real bothered by it.
Don't you love with things that bother you or bother people around you that make no sense? You're just like, what are you even talking about? Anyway, we should do a factoid. The buds of the tiniest roses are the size of a grain of rice. Well, how about that? I did not know that information.
Now you do.
Stephanie's favorite flower for a long time was peach roses. And I would buy her peach roses all the time.
What is it now?
She likes hydrangeas. She's big into them hydrangeas. Blue hydrangeas.
I keep telling her to take a clipping out of our yard, but she won't do it.
We want things we won't do. What is this? Booby facts? Oh, sorry. I don't have any booby facts. Do you have any booby facts?
Sometimes boobs are uneven.
Sometimes.
So, never mind.
You can tell it. You've already started, or you don't have to, and I'll just move on.
No, so when we first got Idle home, and I exclusively breastfeed. He's had a bottle 4 times his entire life, and it was all breast milk. But so your Stephanie calls them porn star boobs, and she kept telling me, she's like, your boobs will never look so good. So your areolas get darker, and your boobs just swell up like a fatty McFat whoopee cushion, and they get hard because the ducts of milk back up, and there's pressure in there. It's turgor pressure, it's booby pressure, right? So I had just fed Little at one point on one side, and so that boob was because all the milky was gone, and then the other boob was da 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 da, ready to party. And Jacob looks at me, he goes, "That one's bigger," and I'm like, motherfucker, you ever get kicked in the scrotum? Because that's how you get kicked in the scrotum. You do not look at a breastfeeding woman that just had a baby and tell her that one titty's bigger than the other. You lost your damn mind.
You don't. Even I'm sitting here going, he did what? Jacob.
I was like, I will throw this kid at you.
I love him, and I know he listens, but it's okay. Because Jacob, after having the baby, I don't know if he's sleep deprived or it's just him, but I got some scientific, calm explanations of, how the baby was doing and stuff with words and things together. I'm like, Jacob, I don't need to know all that. But I know you're a scientist. I know you're telling me things that you're just saying these words. I'm like, is the baby healthy? Are you okay? Is Ashley healthy? Okay. Good. That's enough. We don't have to tell me everything. But he was just so calm, and you know how he gets in professor mode, and he's like, yes, the vaccine should have blah blah blah, and I mean, it's just gonna be great. That was the cadence, and I was like, I love you, go to bed or something.
You know what? That little shit, I laid down to take a nap today, and he faked me out. So he laid down, and I went to go lay down too. And I'm like, well, I'll do my PT exercises. And I laid down to do them. He's like, what's up? I'm up. They're newborns sleep for X many hours. I'm like, they do not. You lying sack of shit. Okay, let's do a show.
Ours didn't. I don't know what. I mean, daggone.
No child sleeps. It's a lie. I have not seen or heard about any child that sleeps ever. It's a fatty McFat lie, and they just tell you so you'll procreate.
Yeah,
it doesn't sleep
no.
ever.
And the people that tell you those stories are just telling you their Facebook version of their life. They're not telling you the real thing. Every time somebody has a baby and I see a Facebook picture, it's like, yeah, man, we're all great. Everybody's happy. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You shove it up your butt. You're so not happy right now. You're regretting every life decision you've ever made. But you don't want that to be on the internet where your future child can see, Mom, did you regret me? And it's like, yes, I did for several months. But then you got all right. You know what I mean? Like, we got to start laying down some truth when it comes to having babies. It sucks balls. Nobody likes it.
Sucks.
It's hard. It takes a lot of effort. It changes everything about your life. It's not fun. And Facebook is a bunch of liars. Nobody on there is the
You
truth.
have no time to yourself, and even if your spouse has the child, you're thinking and feeling guilty that your spouse has the child. I don't care
Yes.
like which spouse it is, but
Yeah.
you feel guilty that your spouse has the child. So
Yeah. Real life guilt. You have to learn that your child is not a weight that you pass back and forth between each other. And that's hard to figure out. Like, because you get him and you're like, I enjoy him. But then on the other hand, you're like, but now he has them. Oh my gosh, I've got to get this baby off of him in an hour or it's just going to be the worst. It's like, no, screw that. Change your mentality. Change the mentality. It's not a chore. It's a gift. But you got to tell yourself it's a gift every second of the day. Every day.
Og's like, when mine had that baby, my thinking was better her than me.
That's like the thing about the bear.
Oh my god! Apparently his second child slept, but the first was Satan. So okay.
I like that. That's pretty good. Parental guilt doesn't go away though. Parental guilt will stay forever. You'll never shake it. You'll never be enough, do enough, contribute enough to either your spouse or your child. It'll just always be there. You'll be like, I failed my baby. Whatever. Forgive yourself. Rule number 1.
Is there like something in life that makes your brain shut down?
Yeah, death. Death does that. You mean before that?
4 minutes. Like, I'm like, who? Like someone dying around you, or hate you?
I was like, why isn't she laughing? That was gold.
Because I didn't get it. I'm dumb.
World news. Kosher lube puts oral sex on the menu for Orthodox Jews. What? So, what? That, I'll read it.
Things that I have never wondered about.
Well, no, I'm just, like, there's a West Coast manufacturer of personal lubricants says it's become the first company to have its slippery stuff blessed for use by religious Jews. Trig Laboratories announced yesterday that the Rabbinical Council of California had certified 95% of its wet brand products as kosher after an intensive 2-year review. That's a long time.
Somebody was real happy or real tired.
I get it. I get what it took me a minute for that
funnier.
one. Yeah.
It gets funnier.
As part of the process, the company said it submitted its entire 52,000 square foot plant in Valencia, California to strict kosherization procedures. Approved wet lubes will now be stamped with a K to show they meet the standards of Jewish dietary law known as kashrut, which prohibits the consumption of certain animals and requires the ritual slaughter of those deemed edible. It's nice to see that rabbis are not shying away from addressing sexual aid, which will facilitate great excitement in the bedroom. People misunderstand Orthodox Jews in that they believe they have sex through a sheet with a hole in the middle. That orthodoxy is profoundly prudish. Nothing can be further from the truth. Didn't the Puritans do that, though? Didn't they have to, like...
Probably. I don't understand how religion became sex bad.
It depended on the flavor of the week, I guess. Which maybe depended on the lube you use. Orthodoxy is profoundly passionate. Orthodox couples have great sex lives. They're encouraged to. Anyone who portrays orthodoxy in a different light and believes that orthodoxy encourages sexual repression really knows nothing about the Jewish religion. But why the oral sex is the key here? Why are they talking about it's because it's kosher? So you could get
animal parts in lube, and
probably beaver butthole.
Like, do you need tongue lube?
Right. See, this is the thing I'm curious about. Who has dry mouth? It is like, baby, I can't wait to be a part of this. Could you please rub lube all over my face? Like, I don't know that we're gonna get down to business, but I've been.
The hood. once.
I've been taking this medicine and it just dries my mouth out. She has to finish it.
Okay, sorry.
I have to finish it. But what, like, for serious, you being a resident sexual product expert, why would you need lube for oral? Are they just worried about
Lube
it
for oral?
I know, right? Like, just drink some water, dude. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But are they worried about getting it in their mouth? Like, are they going like?
So maybe it's
are they
just
alternating?
If you have oral sex during penetrative sex, that you need something that's kosher. However, how would it, like, what is lube made of that it's not kosher?
I like that you've grabbed onto that. I've grabbed onto the logistics, and you've grabbed onto what animal parts are in this stuff. I don't know that it's animal parts. It's probably just like, how do we, something could have always been gluten-free, but now they stamp it gluten-free, so it has to go through a process to prove it's gluten-free. Pork fat.
Something kosher.
Pork fat. What is a non-kosher lube, though? What's in a lube? Pick a lube.
Kosher food is food prepped in accordance with your dietary laws and qualifies kosher. Mammals must have split hooves to their food. Fish must have, but it's not like, I don't know that the Bible speaks specifically on what kind of animal lube is.
Hold on. Jacob says that it's in the article. Okay, here we go. He said certification ensures that none of Trig's products contain ingredients derived from pigs or shellfish, and that any animals used to create the joy gels were treated humanely. It still doesn't answer.
What the hell is in a joy gel? And why would it take 2 years to figure that out?
I know, really? I guess they have to go in and check the factory and make sure the factory is doing everything properly and there's no shenanigans. It's in first penetration 6'9". I should laugh, but it's funny. It's clearly Old Testament because it's Jewish. It's a Jewish gel.
Oh, I just got the 6'9". Ah!
You remember when you were a teenager and every time somebody said 69, like a kid in the back of their class would go, and you're like, y'all are so stupid.
Dude, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know.
I didn't
remember
either.
Having the conversation with Mark about what 69 meant and what masturbating was, like jacking off. I didn't know what jacking off was. And he's like, Phil, just look at the numbers. And I'm like, 6'9". He's like, okay, now put them together. And of course I had like a 9 and a 6 because I'm freaking dyslexic as crap with numbers. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, put the 6 and the 9 together. And I'm like, that kind of looks like a yin
15.
And then like, right? I'm just like, I don't get it. He's like, just look at it. And I'm like, do you even get it? Like,
oh yeah. Don't you love that when it's just somebody saying the thing that they heard someone else say and they don't get it either, but they want to act like you're stupid? So frustrating.
Or like maybe that you'll have an epiphany and you'll expound the epiphany and then they'll get it because and then they don't have to pretend like they didn't get it because you explained it to them while they were explaining it to you.
Yeah. People are stupid and I hate them. I was on Twitter the other day and our friend Kristen posted a word I'd never seen before. And she's like, I just learned this word yesterday and I've seen it 5 times on Twitter today. And I was like, you're the only person I've seen who said that word? I don't know what that word is, but I get what you're feeling because I've seen people say stuff and I'm like, quit saying that word like it's been around for 10 years. And why does everyone know it all of a sudden? What did I miss? Why am I not? Himbo, that was it. Himbo. What's a himbo? Everybody acts like it's a thing. Nobody knows.
Like a bimbo, but a boy.
That makes sense. Can you say that, though? Like, that seems rude. Bimbo.
Wouldn't bimbo be rude, too?
Bimbo is also rude. Most things are rude now, I've discovered.
Yeah, no shit. I have a question. So speaking of rude and everything sucking and saying off the internet. So
speaking of oral sex, everything sucks. Am I right?
Somebody figure out like what is in their joy gel while I'm on this rant. So one of my friends is like super body positive, blah, 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 blah. And she sent me an Instagram post of this just drop dead beautiful woman. But she had either had like maybe a kid or something because her thighs were kind of poofy and like she had extra skin around her stomach. But like if a guy saw her in a bar in her underwear, like, he would not be looking at the 2 extra ounces of fat on her thighs, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's super beautiful woman, and she's like, I look at this picture, and if 10 years ago, if 10-year ago me would have seen this, she would have cried, but I cry for 10-year ago me." And there was like a side-by-side comparison because she was like super thin in one picture, and I'm like, but the whole thing was like this body positive message. I'm like, you are still a beautiful woman on the internet begging for acceptance for what your body looks like, right? Like, that's not body positivity. Like, you still want people to
Yeah.
tell you that you look beautiful. So, like, just take, like, that's completely anti what you're saying, and it blows my mind. They're like, okay, so now it's this whole thing, like, if you're heavy, like, you're body positive, but if you're skinny, boo, boo, skinny people. I'm like, you literally
Yes.
just replaced it. It's the same effing thing. You've just replaced the body type.
There is an issue where you can't praise certain things because there are other things. Like that, for instance. You can no longer praise skinny people because when they get skinny and you're proud of them, you're putting their other people to shame. And it's like, no, this person wanted what they got, and you congratulate them on their journey. If you don't want that, congratulations on how you look, because you look fine. Nobody's saying that everyone, it's that insecurity. Nobody's saying that you're ugly just because we said this person's pretty. Like, that's not that's not the issue here. That person looks really nice. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that that's the absolute positive body type that everyone should have? Because that's what I just heard. It's like, no, I'm just saying they look nice.
My brain finds that attractive. Suck a joy gel.
You can't help it.
Kosher-ified.
I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a real good pro tip here. Men have been chasing women since they were hairy wearing potato sacks. You could do whatever you want. They're still, like, it's going to happen. Someone's going to be interested. And you can't say chasing women on the internet. Henry Cavill got in trouble for saying chasing women. I don't mean chasing women in a malicious, malevolent way. I mean in a trying to date and say, hi, you look nice today. We should be friends. Whatever.
They were probably literally chasing women at one point.
I got so that they're still doing that to some degree. But you remember when Henry Cavill got raked over the coals for saying, I enjoy the idea of, men being able to chase women in a certain way. And I got what he was saying, because what he was saying was pursuit of someone you find attractive in a gentlemanly manner. But chase women has a bad connotation. Yes, but you can't say chase women because that was bad connotation, and he probably shouldn't have said it that way. But if you don't attack everyone who says something and you read between the lines or kind of pick on, it's just I just wish, as someone who says stupid things daily, I rely very much on the character witness of everybody.
It's just like you started here and you went here, and then now you're behind where you were.
I don't know how to say it. Listen, you can't say things on the internet because someone will grab that little piece and they'll just run with it, and your character is raked through the mud and you didn't even know what you did or said or whatever.
I feel like intent should be, I don't know, because like the chick on Instagram, her intent was to get 1,000 people to tell her she was beautiful, right? Like, and she got it. That was great. Like, her intent wasn't. But body positivity is so fun. When a little girl is born, all she hears is, "You're so pretty. Your lashes are so gorgeous. Your eyes are so good." When a little boy is born, it's, "Oh, you're so brave. Oh, we're so proud of you. Oh, blah 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 blah." So like, you can't have, like, you are the value you are for your attractive meter as a woman, period. Like, I don't give a shit who says what or who tries to make a body positive message, blah 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 blah. Like, and then for a guy, you are the money that you can bring in and like the title that you have, period. And it's been like that for hundreds of years, and until you could address that, which I have no idea how you would, then nothing's gonna change.
Well, you're going to put Jacob and I in a truck for 4 hours tomorrow. We're going to have this nut cracked. We're going to have it.
Okay, there you go. Figure this out for me.
We figure out and solve all the problems during our West Virginia driving trips. And it's pretty amazing. No, you're right. Listen, guys. Everything in the world is jacked, and it's probably going to continue to be that way. despite our best efforts. Not saying we should quit having best efforts. We should always have best efforts. But
I
people
quit.
are
I'm
people are
done.
always
My
gonna
efforts
suck.
are mediocre right
People are always gonna suck. And then nothing should tell you that more than this COVID-19. You got to wear a mask bullcrap. Okay, and
now.
by
Nobody wears a mask.
I know.
Not one man I see when I go out is wearing a mask, and I'm like, the next person that's not wearing a mask, I'm gonna kick them in the balls. And when they go, I'm like, that's why you fucking wear a mask, for the ball kickers, and then run away.
we should all kick people in the balls who don't wear masks. I think that's probably a good move. I think I support this. All right. What is the next section? Small town news.
Zafo, that needs to be your D&D name. I was trying to type it, but I
Zafo,
unmuted
brave
it.
Viscount of pursuing women.
Do you say Viscount or Viscount?
I said Viscount. Is it Viscount?
I think it's Viscount.
Listen,
But that's
you're
what I'm
supposed
saying.
to-
Is it Viscount or I say Viscount, but I don't know if it could be Viscount.
Well, you're supposed to praise me anyway, because if someone pronounces a word or mispronounces a word, it means they learned it from reading. So you shouldn't shame them because they
Well,
learned
that's what
it
I'm
from
saying.
reading.
Like I read it, but my brain made the S go away. It's
Viscount.
Viscount.
I don't think that's
Viscount.
true. I learned that whole thing about the reading from Hammerdorf. He tweeted it once, and I was like, Hammerdorf is so smart. Because he is. He also says good things. Anyway.
I can't pronounce anything. That's
It's
why
your turn.
I used to pretend, but that's the kosher meat story. That we still
Yes.
haven't figured out. Woman sues for paternity test on ghost. I quit.
Do you remember when this show used to be fun because you were like, oh, look at all these idiots that are far away. And now you're like, you walk out your door and you're like, is horseshoes and hand grenades even relevant anymore? Or are we just living in crazy town? Like this?
I would like to go back to the 90s with the butterfly clips. Like when that was the worst.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Frosted
the
tips.
pale lipstick, the butterfly clips, and the bleached hair.
You
I mean,
sat around-
I'll accept shittier internet. I mean, we had good video games. You can't tell me that
did.
GoldenEye was not a good video game. Ocarina, the
Yeah.
90s had some good. I mean, there was 6 pixels in the entire damn game, but they were good games.
The SNES was the greatest system ever made. I mean, come at me, bro. It really is. And you could just sit around and listen to Orgy's Blue Monday on repeat because
Yes,
that's what everybody liked at the time.
I did like me some Orgy.
I
The band
remember.
was pretty good too.
Oh!
A Florida woman has. You were saying I remember, but I'm like, must finish my joke.
It was good. You can tell the story
What-
now. That was a
What
good
do you
joke.
remember?
What do I remember about what?
I don't know. You said I remember.
I remember lots of things. But if I keep
You don't
remembering
remember
them,
what you remember?
no, you said something between that thought. Like I can't keep track of a thought. Hey, is that an ADD thing? Like if you're saying a thought and somebody says a thing and then you lose your thought completely forever, like it goes. I'm trying to convince Stephanie I'm also ADD.
It's hereditary.
I'm
and
probably
I'm pretty
not.
sure you could talk to somebody that is in the chat right now that is a very smart, educated individual.
No, I just know a friend of mine who went on medication for ADD, and he's like a boss at things and learns stuff from reading. And I can't
That's
learn
because
things
it
from
makes
reading.
your brain work.
Well, it makes it go too fast. So Stephanie told me, she said, of course it worked. It works on everybody. Everybody gets better when they take this. Why it's sold for $100 a pill in college. I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it's not a thing. I can basically function. I don't know. Just go on.
I feel like you need to talk to Adam and HG and then Stephanie's comment will become a little less
No,
insulting.
I think I just want an excuse for my inability to motivate myself or keep track of any particular task, and that would be a handy one. But I don't think I have it. What? Why are you looking
I just
at me?
see Head Gamer over here going.
No, he's fine. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need more free.
Adam's like, oh, ADHD's up. What? Just you know what? I feel like even if your brain does executively function correctly, everybody could benefit from some of the ADHD videos that Adam sent me to because Anyway, they're good. A Florida woman has filed a lawsuit seeking either a paternity test on her goats or a refund, and she's not kidding. Is that a goat joke? The kid, because
I
baby
think it
goats are
is.
kids.
I think it is. I think you're right.
I think it's pretty good.
Yep.
Chris Hedstrom filed the suit against her neighbor Heather Dainier, seeking DNA for the goat she purchased. Hedstrom paid $900 for 5 Nigerian goat dwarfs.
No, dwarf goats.
Goat
Goat dwarves is like a satyr. What do they call them when they're like?
I don't know, but somebody needs to draw a goat dwarf. All I see is that the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but like a dwarf goat, a goat
Like a big
dwarf,
beard, like a hammer.
dwarf
Hammer.
goats.
Just
Somebody,
take Hammer Dwarf's logo and just put goat legs on it.
oh no, like I forgot. I looked at the chat and I forgot what there needs to be. According to the lawsuit, Hedstrom believed the goats Bella, Gigi, Rosie, Zelda, and Margot.
Good one.
I like the Bella and the Gigi. I'm like, oh, go F yourself. But then they got to Zelda and I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Could be registered with the American Dairy Goat Association, a group that records goat pedigrees. Registered goats have higher values than unregistered goats. What the
You always
Why
register
is
your
this world-
goat. That's what we've learned.
Please, someone quote that in Discord.
We can't quote it. It's still broken.
Dagnabbit! Dainer. I don't know why that name just comes out like that. Who has been selling goats at Baxter Lane Farm for about 10 years, typically provides information to her clients so they can register their animals. She said the father goat was registered, but the ADGA, American Dairy Goat Association, rejected her application to register the babies because Daner is not an active member. Proving paternity would require about 40 of the father's goat's hairs, follicles, goat hair follicles for DNA tests. So Hedstrom wrote Dana a letter requesting the DNA. She offered to refund the money in exchange for the goats. So was she lying?
I don't know.
And
They
she
just
wanted
can't
her goats
prove it.
back?
I can't follow anything that just happened. I don't think she wants her goats back. The person who bought them wants the fur. I don't know. I was just stuck on.
The Daner sold the goats, but she said she offered to refund the money that the Hedstrom lady paid if Hedstrom would give the goats back. But all she wanted to do was see if the father goat was registered so she could get the baby goats registered. But apparently I think Daner was lying about the goats or something.
This is real life drama in Florida. This is what happened. This is how the Hatfields and McCoys started shooting at each other. Some goat paternity test. Before we know it, North Florida and South Florida will actually be separate states. And
the Conch Republic, baby.
These two clans they should be separate states. Unpopular opinion, we need more states. You know what I mean? Like, we need more states. The
Texas
states,
and California need to be more states.
we're just stuck on this stupid, like, oh, well, we have 50. What a nice round number. That's dumb. We need more states.
Well, if we split up Texas and California, that'd be 52.
We can split up Texas and California would be pretty huge. See, that California needs to be like 3 states. It's like ridiculous. Probably Texas
Nice little
too.
South Dakota-sized chunks. Invade Canada. Canada needs to invade us at this point. Shit.
You could probably separate California and Texas into multiple states, but also combine some of the Midwest states like Montana and North Dakota. Like, their population's probably like not even that of Ohio if you put them both together, even though they're massive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
You could fix a lot of problems by just reducing populations or reducing state count, but increasing populations to more common numbers. You know what I mean?
So the gerrymandering would come to an end.
I don't know. That you'd be gerrymandering entire states. You'd have to one team going, I need South Dakota to be on my team because reasons. And, it'd be completely ridiculous.
Washington, D.C. population is higher than several states, as the traffic proves. Driving through Washington D.C. makes me want to. It doesn't. I don't have the overwhelming desire to off myself, but I want to off it. There is a gap between the computer screens.
Okay. Newspaper left untold. Can't make a state with a bill. Don't you need like some sort of big ratification process, like 2/3 vote or some BS? I don't know. How does government?
I know
work?
Rhode Island is changing their name because did you know Rhode Island isn't the name of the state? It's like Rhode Island and the something lick your butt plantations.
The state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Yeah, that's been that for like I remember learning that 10 years ago or something. I was like, why do they do that? And they've really fought to hang on to that Providence Plantations bit. But we're, renaming
it's
everything.
Nice alliteration.
Some things should be redone and renamed. I think we talked about this last week. Some things for sure. That probably should be, but then you get to like, okay, well, at what point do you stop? Is there what doesn't cause feelings? There's probably that's silly. There's a lot of things that don't cause feelings. I'm gonna talk about Newsbear Left Untold. Man smuggling cocaine and artificial penis caught at Brussels airport. Wait, I'm gonna read that again because my heart wasn't in it.
I didn't.
Man smuggling cocaine and artificial penis caught at the Brussels airport. What a great way to do it. You know what I mean? Like you just, let me just pop this off, fill it with some cocaine, and put it back on. No one will know.
Is there a picture of the artificial peni?
I hope not. I mean, I'm sure. What do you think it looks like? Do you think it looks like is it big and purple? Maybe
veiny.
Got a rabbit attached
Okay,
to
I'm
it.
sorry, but if you're gonna have an artificial penis story, then I need a picture of the artificial penis.
That's true. We do need that. If someone could find that for us. Did he have two of them? That's a good question. Did he have one real penis and one artificial penis? Could be.
Oh, like it just artificial
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah.
Latest artificial penis sex toys, sex shopping. Jacob, I'm real sorry about your search.
You can open a private browser before you do that. That way you do it. You solely search.
I was thinking it was gonna be like a an artificial limb, not like a. If I wanted to search for a dildo, I would search for dildo.
Yeah, but some people don't know what that's called. So they search for artificial penis as the name so they can find what they're looking for.
Fake wiener.
Prosthetic penis. Do that.
There you go. Prosthetic. That's the word.
Yeah, try that while I read about the cocaine wiener. A British man arrested in Brussels airport with cocaine inside of an artificial penis could face up to 3 years in prison for the offense. The man was busted trying to smuggle the drugs from Jamaica into Belgium. He allegedly told investigators that he intended to use the cocaine for personal use once he returned home. Well, I mean, that's nice of him. Oh, no, it's fine because I was just going to use it for me, Like,
well, if he wasn't going to sell it,
I was going to snort it out of the tip of my own penis, not somebody else's.
Stephen.
You did. Somehow your fault. I don't know how. It's Jacob's fault. He made me read this story. Prosecutors did not prove the man. Did not prove the man who said he got the drugs while visiting his mom in the Caribbean county was a mule, but still asked for a 36-month sentence. Defense attorneys argued such a sentence is too severe since the man is in poor health. My client has kidney failure and needs to exercise as well as follow a proper diet. The man is set to be sentenced on Wednesday. What do you think about the argument that I'm just too old and fat to go to prison? Because this happened a lot with
it for Harry Weinstein, but he
right.
to be in prison.
Right. So that was the thing that keyed me into it because I was noticing why are lawyers of high-powered people? Why is Harvey Weinstein? Why do they think they could be would you just not send me to prison because I'm old? But they would send any other old fart to prison if he didn't have millions of dollars or a high-profile case.
Well, so I get the argument that it just depends on what you're going to do. Prison should be diversified better.
Diversify your prison. You don't want to put all your prisons in one basket.
Yeah, put the old people together.
What is prison for?
It's okay.
I want to know, because you know more about this than me.
Well, originally it was for punishment, right? Like you go here, wild wild west. Like you go here because you done killed Belinda Joe's husband. You jackass, get out of our town, kind of thing. And then like it became this. Well, we need to what's the word? Fix the people. We need to demolition man the people and teach them to knit.
Reprogram them. They can stamp
That's not
license
quite
plates
the word.
all day.
Yeah. Yes.
Re-educate?
You know, like.
Fix them. I don't know what word you rehabilitate. That's it.
Rehabilitate. There we go. Like rehabilitate. So just say, hey, like here's some educational opportunities. Here's this or here's that. This is what you did that was wrong. Let's get you back into society as a functioning human being that's not going to, break the societal handshake that everybody has, right? Because you want people to function so your cogs work. But if you got like a rusty ass dementoed cog, you don't want it back in the machine because it fucks up the machine. So the whole idea was to rehabilitate, but we didn't do it right because we suck at life. There's not enough money in the prison system, and the money that is there doesn't go to things it should go to, and the machine's just broken.
Like, what if you took, and this is just obviously hypothetical, but what if you just reserved prison for violent and heinous crimes, and all the other BS was like house arrest, pass a program, move? Like, what would that be too much? Like, how does that?
I think that would be freaking genius. Like, you're assigned a social worker, you chit chat about stuff, you work out your problems. Head gamer would be like, yes, more telecommunication
Cha-ching.
from work, baby.
Yeah.
Like see what needs to be fixed, and then try to fix it, and then like have a bi-yearly meeting with all the social workers that talk to the people that have been like house incarcerated and be like, these are the problems that we're seeing like statistically, and this is what we need to do to address it as society to keep this shit from happening. And it would be awesome. It would be so cool, but that's not going to happen. So
No, but
let me
that's
just
what
go back to Whimsydale.
That's what probation and parole is, right? Is you have a probation officer that comes and says, hey, you did something stupid, now you got to go back to jail.
Yeah.
I don't know that I don't know if probation officers work in the supportive role. It's more of the enforcement role of you got to do what you're supposed to. I don't know. I'm talking out of my lane a little bit, a lot.
Well, you've got, so nobody in their right mind wants to make 30 grand a year and carry all of that back home with them. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good job right now. There are no perks. You have to be a very certain type of person. A lot of the people go into it that type of person, and then 10 years later they're dead inside because they see the system fail time and time and time and time and time again.
But Ashley, you can retire with a full pension at 25 years instead of 30.
Oh yeah, and then like if you work for 10 years, then your student debts are forgiven. Yeah, they did that with law school too. They're like, if you go into these certain things, like, and you work for 10 solid straight years, then your student debts are wiped out.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you're dead inside, and
is it worth it? I don't know. Anyway, hey, how about that guy who smuggled his penis with cocaine? I don't know that he should go.
Was I reading that?
No, I was reading that.
Okay.
I was reading that, and we got on this. We've tried to fix the prison system because this man was trying to get out of it by saying, I got a kidney issue. And I'm like, you still get punished, right? Like, you still. So what is the punishment if not prison? You can't chop off a finger. I'm being visited by a fairy. What do you need? Oh,
Me?
It's not in here. No, Stephanie ventured into my realm looking for something for the dog and couldn't find it. But yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, tell everybody about the dog's anal glands.
Oh, the dog expressed his anal glands on Stephanie's lap. Dogs have anal glands. I didn't know about this. And when they get excited or whatever, they might express their anal glands so that other dogs can smell them. and know all of their family history or whatever. I don't know what you get out of that, but they learn a lot about each other with that. And the dog expressed its anal gland on Stephanie's lap. And I was like, dog liquid pooped on you. And she's like, it's not poop, it's anal glands. And I was like, that's not the same.
How did you, what? Steven sent a text message, and I was sitting there, I picked up my phone, and this text message said, the dog just liquid pooped on Stephanie's lap. And I'm like, I love my family.
Yep, it did. I laughed. It was a good time. Dog laughed. It's pretty great. WTF section. WTF.
Sorry, I was just Hammerdorf was. I guess his wife did the 10 years thing, but there's so many loopholes that she just got screwed, and
Yeah.
she did 10 years and no money. That sucks. And
There's
then
so
HD
many
was
ways you
talking
can
about,
get shafted, man.
like with a prosthetic penis.
Yeah, segue backwards.
a bagway.
a backwards.
By the way,
segue.
the prosthetic penis just looks like a dong.
So it's just a wiener.
It like legit looks like a floppy dong.
Does it have a pump
Yeah.
to come with it to make it active?
I don't know. It's in a woman's hand, which makes it even more distracting.
Was she holding it like?
That is
how's she
interesting now that I
cradling
think
it?
about it. There's
Is
like
it-
this beautiful. Oh wait, is that? Oh, that's
Is it?
good. That
is she-
man has some nice manicured nails. That is a man's hand.
Oh, it's not a woman's hand. So he's used to holding a wiener then.
I want you to see the picture because, like, from this part up, looks like a beautiful woman's delicate hand, but then, like, from here down, it's like hairy man forearm.
Hand models are weird. You ever watch the YouTube video of the hand model lady that like holds her hands like this the whole way through the interview? It's like, I don't do dishes, I don't touch anything, I don't bathe myself, I don't do and it's like, you're the creepiest woman I've ever seen. She's like, I don't take out the trash, I just have my hands. They're masterful, perfect hands for hand modeling. And you're like, do we need hand models? Like, can we not have them?
Can
Like,
we
that
not?
was-
What was that movie Evolution with the I see aliens. I want to believe.
Oh, Mulder.
Mulder.
David
Yes.
Duchovny.
And he had his hand in the thing because he was a hand model.
Was that Evolution that he was the
I
hand
think it was
model?
Evolution. Yeah.
I like that movie. So it had Orlando
shrimp with a
Jones in
smiley
it too.
face.
Yeah, and
three-
the smiley
with three
face with their
eyes.
3 eyes, and the creatures evolved super fast, and they were all allergic to selenium. That's what I remember.
Oh
So
yeah.
they killed them with Head and Shoulders because they were shoving a big old Head and Shoulders pipe up its anus. That was amazing. I should watch that
See?
movie again. It's underappreciated. Travis, where are you? Have you seen it? Give me a
Oh!
reason to watch it.
We need to go back to. Oh, by the way, I found what was that? Pod monkey, pod chaser,
Pod Chaser.
cryptid?
Yeah,
Podchaser.
podchaser.com. Oh, Travis hasn't
Yeah.
seen it. Travis hasn't seen it. Travis hasn't seen it. So,
It's
wait,
fun.
you haven't seen? Evolution.
Lol.
Travis has a
Lol,
great
lol,
show.
lol.
Free plugs for
Yeah.
Travis.
Go watch the show. It's fun. Steven was making fun of me. He's like, you won't watch the trailer for a movie, but you'll watch Wait You Haven't Seen and see Cinema Sense. He's like, what's the matter with you?
Yes, something you're broken. You do things wrongly.
Well, there's certain movies I know like that I don't really care to see, or that like I started watching Uncut Gems, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. This
No,
is I
you
c-
wouldn't.
th-
No,
no.
it's
Like
just
if I
too bad.
wanted to be this stressed out, I would have a baby and not sleep. So I watched the cinema sins of it.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Like-
I could have told you wouldn't like Uncut Gems. Like, I mean, you would be the first in line for when the Monster Hunter movie comes out, but like, never mind Uncut Gems. It's got
There
Mila
is-
Jovovich,
there-
and it's the same people that
there's-
did Resident Evil.
He's a little guy, and his name was Mochi, and he was really cute. Digimon, yay!
Oh, Wilton man arrested for displaying wooden penis statue in front yard. You know what? It's my property. F off.
I don't think that looks like a penis. If you draw eyes on it, it kind of looks like a dude just standing over everybody with cartoonishly large feet.
If you give it a stomach, it stands like that dude that's running our country right now.
That's a turd.
A Wilton man was arrested after displaying a wooden penis statue in his front yard. Jamie Gagney? What's with the names? 32 was charged with misdemeanor public display of sexual wieners. The issue stems from a dispute that Gagney has been having with the town of Wilton over plans for his public workshop, which town officials have said is not up to code. They've issued a stop work order. I had to burp. Gagney said he's been trying to comply, but town officials have not been responsive. He decided to carve a 7-foot replica of a penis out of a pine tree and put it on the front lawn of his home as a form of protest. State police showed up saying they'd received a complaint and arrested him.
Arrested? Really? Y'all don't have anything
We're not-
better to
we're
do?
not-
Like,
we're just gonna move
confiscate
on
the penis. No, confiscate the penis, put it on the back of your truck, and go burn it or something. Don't arrest the man. Good
or best
Lord.
yet, fuck the shit off because it's my GD property. Get off! I'm gonna shoot you in the ball sack.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? A moral police force? Like, this is not a thing that you can arrest someone over. Shove it up your butt. Well, it's indecent. Well, I mean, show me the law where an indecent thing can't happen. This is a wooden structure. You can put pictures. If this had been a penis attached to a statue of David, nobody would have looked twice. What, that's art and this giant penis isn't art? The Washington Monument's a giant penis. You haven't arrested the president.
Please, God, somebody do that. I'm not joking. Oh my gosh! Yeah, they said this. So this brings up an annoying question that I would like to present to you guys. Morals being policed. Because right now they're very Christian morals, right? I mean, Stephen and I grew up with the Christian morals, and like, I'm okay with Christian morals. I'm not okay with enforcing them or making them like illegal things that other people have to an extent, right? Like, please don't go out and grab yourself a 12-year-old bride. But granted, that would be a Christian moral because everybody died at 30 and 12 was like a marriageable age. But you know what I mean? Zapho's like, please stop. Just move along. Ashley picks her words so carefully.
Ashley does a better job than I do. I'm not walking into this one. I'll let you explain. You do it. I got in trouble a minute ago. You can get in trouble now. This is your turn.
Well, I don't like everybody's like, please stop. It's not. There should not be morality laws that don't deal with like aggressive sexual things. And I mean, I haven't thought about this very long.
Keep
But
going.
if my neighbor wants to have a penis, great. It can annoy the shit out of me. I'm a human being and I have vocal cords. I could go speak to my neighbor and be like, you know what? Like, let's work together and like maybe, I mean, if we want to decorate the wiener for Christmas or Halloween, like let's have some fun with this.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now you just got a giant dick in your yard, which is not great when I sit on my front porch, but nobody talks anymore. You just get annoyed, be like, my effing neighbors, blah, 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 blah. I had a tree fall across your house, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
nobody
I took out all
talks.
the power.
Yeah. Nobody talks. You just go, I just imagine rocking up a front porch going, Jim, your yard boner gets me too excited. You're going to have to take it down.
I mean, like, just have a freaking conversation. I mean, you know, you could have the shitty neighbors that come to you and say, hey, the tree's probably gonna fall tonight. We're leaving town. Good luck without your power for the next week. And, you know,
Yeah.
that was talking. And we should have talked back by saying, get fucked.
Yeah. Right on.
I'm glad the swear jar isn't working tonight.
It is working. No one's using it. I fixed it.
Ah!
Swear
Oh,
jar
never
works.
mind.
The rep jar doesn't work, and the quote bot doesn't work. Or rep and quotes. Actually, they all work now. But yeah, the quote doesn't work. Anyway, so here's
TV Travis, yes.
Here is how I differentiate between what should be somewhat enforceable and what shouldn't be, or at least a place where you can kind of use as a basic balance of what's going on. Does the action I'm taking infringe upon your ability to pursue life, liberty, and happiness? if what I'm doing infringes upon your right, or rights rather, to life, liberty, and property, then what I'm doing is wrong. If it infringes on my own life, liberty, and property, that's on me. But like, if I come at you and say, you can't have this tree in your yard because I think it's immoral, then that's me attempting to infringe on your liberty to do what you want to do with your tree in your yard that you own.
Is a penis inherently immoral?
No.
Have
no.
we really assigned a morality to
People
an
are
organ of the
uncomfortable.
body that is partially responsible for keeping the human race alive?
The more uncomfortable something is for people, the more they want to turn it. They want to not have. So Scott,
I mean, a penis that big and that splintery would be hella uncomfortable, but to each their own.
yeah. So Scott Johnson brings this up very often, and he's also been right more times than he's been wrong. That the loudest vocal opponent of a thing is probably contributing to that thing. Or doing that action. If they're like, no one should be able to do this, they're the ones doing it. And it's come out like 4 or 5 times, particularly with preachers and homosexuality, that like they are the most vocal opponents of it, and then get caught in a hotel with a gay stripper. And it's like,
But like, what?
Okay.
That's what like, when did that become something to hang your hat on, right? Like, I am
Well,
a
you can
straight
hang your hat
person
on
that
your
only
penis
practices
when,
missionary sex. I
don't
really want to
know.
go put a big hat on that penis now, though.
like what? Yeah, I've been sitting here imagining Santa hats and cowboy hats, top hats. No, but yes, Travis is right. We were settled by Puritans, and it's not that I think everything that every moral thing isn't generally good to have. Like, thou shalt not murder is
Sure.
pretty darn good rule. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, that's pretty basic. But it all just comes down to just if we could find a way to fix the human heart into something that doesn't hate or feel jealous or lustful or whatever. Like we could potentially solve a lot of problems, but people are messy. People are jacked up. Some people think incorrectly. I don't know. I think that the police arresting a man for having a front yard boner is not.
Oh, that's the show title. That is the show title. Done. We're done.
It's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. Now, if he was standing outside and actually had a boner and was naked, you could go, dude, we're going to have to fine you for public indecency and put you in your room.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? If you want to walk around on your property and you are not eliciting, like, if you're not sexually aggressive towards people walking by, you're just sitting out there going, look, I'm out in my yard. I want to get some sun. I took a Viagra. I got to get shit done. I just, you know what? My balls are hot. Look away.
But that is interesting. So, but okay, here's where that becomes a problem. You could potentially be exposing yourself to minors at that point, because you're in your front yard in a neighborhood where I would assume there are children, and I don't. So, and this could be biases that have been implanted in me, but that feels pretty wrong to me. That's not your kid, but you're like, kid, get away from me. But you could be in the locker room at the gym and nobody blinks. So,
Right? So I'm like, okay, so I have a little boy, right? And like, there's gonna be penises everywhere in his life because I'm gonna shove sports down his throat, and then he's gonna play the sports ball, and everybody's gonna be running around with their wieners hanging out because that's just what
Yeah.
like, and he's gonna see his dad's wiener because that's how you learn to pee. And like, Sam runs around going, I want to play swords. Like, I feel like if Sam walked past a guy with his dong hanging out, he'd be like, hey, daddy, his boy parts are out. I'd be like, yes, son, they're out. And then that would be the end of it.
he does.
Like,
Yeah.
if he's out there, like, diddling his cow, but I don't know. Like,
See,
I guess
he'd be.
because that would be offensive to me if I'm having to watch someone bone his cow. But, like, what if he's having sex with his wife on his front porch?
If he's diddling his cow, that's infringing on the cow's life, liberty, and property.
That is true. The cow
cow
does not
can't-
want to be diddled by man boners.
The cow can't consent. Now, if he's diddling his wife on the front porch, that's pornography. in real life. I don't know. Is that
But
oh
is that
Lord.
a problem? Like, why?
I like
why
that
is
you're
that
exploring
a problem,
this.
though.
I like that you're exploring this, and I appreciate that you're going to this. I want the listeners to understand one thing. Asking questions in an exploratory manner is never a statement of opinion on this show, generally. Jacob and I talk about this ad nauseum. Questions should be safe to ask because you can't understand your world if you don't ask them. And I like that we're going
I mean, I
down this
ask
road.
Alexa, but she won't answer me.
Yeah, they're not allowed to. Is it? Would it be wrong? I feel like I wouldn't want my kid to see it, and
But
that
I mean,
feels
like, people have sex, right? Like,
right. And here you go. Why in the U.S. is it more dangerous to show two people having sex than it is to show someone getting their head blown off with a shotgun? There you
right?
go.
'Cause, I mean, going back to the movies I watched as a kid, I watched Predator and Aliens and Lethal Weapon, and they were all psychotically violent. But like, oh, don't show Ashley Cinemax because she doesn't want to see boobies. I have boobies. I see boobies in the mirror every day. Don't give a shit. Like, if somebody else wants to get their boobies fondled, it's great. If I feel like watching booby fondling, like, I should be able to watch booby fondling. Like, why do we care?
It's very
Because
interesting.
if I saw someone having sex in their front yard, I'd be like, what the shit are they doing? But why? Like,
But
why would I
why?
react that way?
Yeah. Because it's not something you see every day. I'd like to throw it to just your brain pattern recognition, and it's broken. Like you know, things don't bother you until they look awkward. But why do they look awkward? They look awkward because you've never seen them before, or you've never seen them in that manner. So you go, and that's your brain rejecting it, going, I've never seen anything like this. That feels wrong. And the older you get, I think the more wrong things feel because your brain's so set in its general acceptance
Those
of
deep
reality
channels
that
yeah.
when something occurs, and this is why old people in government don't understand video games. It's like, well, them kids is playing the Grand Theft Auto. You know what you can do in that game? You know what you can do in that game? You can kill everybody. You kill police. You kill hookers. You can kill everybody. Everybody everywhere. You can even drive an airplane and you can wreck it into the ocean. Did you know that? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Children are being trained to hijack motor vehicles and run over people on the sidewalk. And they going to do it. I'll tell you what. I've seen it before. The senator from Alabama yields the floor.
I was gonna say there's no way a senator anywhere talks like that. But when you said Alabama, that was perfect.
Yeah, they do.
Hi,
yeah,
Kelly.
They do.
How's your hair doing?
I don't know, man. I've been listening to this book about Grand Theft Auto. Speaking of, it's called Jacked. It's the story of Grand Theft Auto, and like this game, we've all played it to some degree. Many people have played it. It used to be the staple of children gone mad was Grand Theft Auto. Now it's like considered artistry. But it should be. It's a phenomenal piece of software. But you could have people blowing up stuff everywhere, rockets going off, nobody blinks an eye. The minute that a mod was introduced that unlocked code in a game to allow you to have sex with your girlfriend was the minute like all bets were off. Like, this game is gonna wreck the chip. It was a mod. You couldn't even access it unless you were smart. Like, you couldn't just pick up your PlayStation and be like, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto Sex with my girlfriend. It was like, no, you had to
GTA Sexy Edition.
you had to put it in your PC. You had to unlock it with mods, and then you had to do it. But the code was on the disc, so Rockstar got raked over the coals. But they had fenced it in, so they would never get called. Like, that scene would never occur in a natural circumstance. But man, you could do anything you wanted in that game, and nobody. I mean, some people cared, but most people didn't.
Steven's
and then
so excited.
I like when I read books and I get to share with people what I find. It's amazing.
Oh, I thought you were like hearkening back to what you actually did. I'm like, Steven did a bad.
Oh no, I never did that. I never had San Andreas. That was the game that it was on. I never played that one. But I mean, you did everything else that you could do in the game. But like their whole argument was the ability is there, but it's not explicitly there, and you're never asked to do it. Like, for instance, picking up a hooker in your car and getting all your health back, and then running her over to get your money back. You could do that. But their argument was like, that's not exactly, they're never told to do it. That's not an intention. It's just an artifact of the game engine. If someone takes money from you and you run them over, you get your money back. The hookers are no different in terms of programming. And I'm like, that seems like a valid argument to me. They're like, we didn't make them special because we didn't want to have this argument. So they're not special, and now we're having this argument. It's wild. It's a wild experience. Anyway, it's late.
Well, tiniest Travis keeps bringing up like the Puritans, right? Like we were settled by some sexually. I mean, you the Scarlet Letter. You read that book, and it's just depressing and awful, and you hate that you were born a woman sometimes. But like, how? Like, if you think about history's fascinating, right? Like you like think about just like King Henry VIII, so like 1500s, right? We beheaded people and burned people for religious reasons, and it was okay. Like that was entertainment for people.
Yeah.
But if you had the sexy time,
I don't
that's
know.
bad.
Now we just play football instead of murdering people in a coliseum.
Now we can't
Satisfies
even
the
do
same
that,
itch. Now we can't even play
'cause nobody will
football.
wear a damn mask.
Is that why
Okay,
people are
let
like?
me say one thing. If you are wearing a mask and it is not on your face, take it off.
What's the point?
Just take it. Like, why are you're just giving yourself acne for no reason?
I want to throw something at the people that have their nose hanging out. I was at Chick-fil-A the other day getting something, and this girl, she had her mask on, but it was down under her nose, and I was like, I want to throw all the ketchup packets at you. Like, you are ridiculous. You're ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, and it's not effective. Stop it. Stop it.
You know what? Because I have the kind that when I breathe out, it breaks the seal. So my expectorant is going out. So if I have it and you don't have your mask over your nose, you screwed. So enjoy your under nose mask wearing.
It's just like having
I'm enjoying my respirator,
just
ho.
like having your penis hanging out of your underwear. It's not doing the job. It's not taking care of everything. Yeah,
You get a
TV's
dribble all
Travis.
over your shoes.
He got there too. He said wearing a mask like that's like walking around with your doodle hanging out of your pants and peeing everywhere. You're not wrong. See, and the thing is, like, the cloth masks don't really protect you. They protect everyone else from you. The cloth masks do a
Right.
much better job of keeping the in you from getting out, not necessarily the out from getting in. N95 is the opposite. It helps you not get sick, but you breathe out all over everybody because it's got vents. So it's like, I don't know what to do. You wear N95 over your mask? Like, if you go around people, you're like, because if you walk out in a cloth mask, you could still get sick, but maybe you didn't get other people sick. But if everybody else wore a cloth mask and didn't get you sick, you'd all be doing a great job.
If everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing for a small amount of time, it will work out better. But have fun reopening your state, North Carolina. Suck a big prosthetic dick.
I don't know what to do about it anymore. If we did a staring at goats last night, I probably had a different opinion than I do today. Because today, I'm done. I'm done. Nobody's listening to anybody anyway. Nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. I hope everybody figures it out. But until then, I'm buckled down in my house, doing my job, keeping myself and my family safe, and just sitting here twiddling my thumbs until school starts. And then it's all over because I might as well just open a live grenade in my house. But I got to...
I've been going to the chiropractor and the vagina physiotherapist, and I'm like, I'm gonna cancel them. Like I'm not going to the doctor because every time I go, like, people got in the elevator with me and I just looked at them, and then one dude wasn't wearing a mask, and I'm like,
why are you here?
fuck up. So now I take the stairs everywhere. I'm like, and then like, no. So I was walking out of the building, and the guy stopped his wife, put his hand across her chest, and like had her stand back. And I wanted to look at him and be like, she's wearing a mask. Where's yours?
Oh, don't cough on people. But yeah, that's a turd move. Like, why aren't you both wearing masks? Because you're both going to go home and maybe you'll talk to each other and spread germs. No, it's ridiculous. It's like we've never had a plague or anything before. Nobody knows how germs work. I don't understand it. I just don't.
If you don't have a mask, I completely get it. And the doctor's office will give them to you. Like, tie something over your face. You can get a bandana. Like, I don't know. It's just.
People are dumb. That's all. This is a bit. That's the general. People are dumb or ignorant or willfully ignorant at work. Like worse, at worse, willfully ignorant. Like I refuse to learn how this works. Anyway, we got all of that from a giant 7-foot penis in the yard. That's where we went. This is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. This is what you get. You get 7-foot penises, and then you get complete dissections of culture and how we operate as a people. And I think that's why you come to this show. That's the value that we can add to your life as a couple idiots on the internet who practically don't know what we're talking about most of the time. But
Practically.
daggone it, we're going to say it anyway, aren't we? It's pretty great. So, hey, if you enjoyed the show, consider giving us a tip. twodorks.net/tip or to patreon.com/twodorks where you can subscribe and be as cool as Hammerdorf and Og and Adam of Geekheim and my parents.
Our parents.
And Ashley's parents who fund the show. It's great. So thank you for that. You'll also get the pre-shows recorded, which can be fun if you're late and you want to hear them. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Steve H&H, and Fate Kills, P-H-A-T-E Kills. And that's it, man. That's the show. We're going to be back next week doing another one. Back next week, probably doing a Staring at Goats on Wednesday. I love Staring at Goats.
So.
It's a great show. Where we talk about COVID-19 and how life is falling into just a state of constant despair. And we have to find... You remember... One last thing. You remember back when we were like, this isn't so bad. I mean, you just stay inside and people are going for walks and, you know, you just get your grocery delivered. It's no big deal. And now it's just turned into a rage fire of upsetness around the globe. And
2020 is the dumpster fire.
It's really got nothing but worse. And I keep trying desperately to find the joy in it. And, I mean, I have moments of joy. But it's real hard to get there these days. What? What are you waving for?
I got an email, Steven, from Baby List. Like the where I registered for my Spawn's shit. Baby List, right? Like nothing to do with anything Baby List. They're like,
in today's climate, it's real hard to feel joy because you feel like guilty.
Okay. Sing. I can't.
Bonus. Oh, you texted that to me.
It absolutely. Oh, did I delete it?
I didn't have any context, so I didn't know where it came from.
Oh my god, it was so. I may have deleted it. Anyway, it was basically like saying. It was basically making you feel guilty. Read it.
How are you doing? That age-old greeting feels like such a loaded ask lately, doesn't it? The truth is, virtually everyone is struggling in some way that complicates the answer. In private conversations, a few of us on the team have confessed that although we, and society at large, may be experiencing varying levels of hardship, we're also experiencing moments of joy and gratefulness. We've asked each other, in the midst of so much pain, is it appropriate to experience happiness? To be clear, we recognize that these feelings are a luxury, and not all are so lucky. But if you're also wondering if you're allowed to feel joyful, know this, your feelings are valid, no matter what they are. Experiencing moments of happiness may feel conflicting, but that's just part of being human. End scene.
Bullshit. You want to know? Steve and I went to school where they made you feel guilty for feeling happy because you felt happy, you were doing something wrong. You were thinking sexy thoughts, you were having fun with your friends, but your friends were mean or you were gossiping. Just if you're happy, be happy. Who gives a shit? Just be the happy and Baby List shove it up your ass for trying to make people feel guilty about feeling happy. 2020 is a pile of crap. If you want to feel happy during 2020, you feel happy. Like, let people be happy. Let them have their wiener statues in their yard.
There's only one thing in this world you can control, and that's everything up in here. If you want to feel happy, daggone it, screw those people. It's their fault they don't have happiness. You got happiness because you managed to figure it out that day. And you should roll around in that happiness. And if somebody says, why are you so happy? You'd be like, because I'm breathing today, and I saw the sunrise, and that was pretty awesome to me. And that's fine. But yeah, you said it. People ought not feel guilty for whether they're happy. I've been there before. I've been like, why am I having a good time? I shouldn't be having a good time. Other people aren't having a good time.
Who gives a shit?
I can't help those other people. I'm having a good time. You know?
Like, I'm sorry for your feelings, but I am not responsible for them.
Yes.
HG, mindfulness. He's all about the mindfulness, and it's beautiful. I feel like we should make a sign out of that and posted somewhere.
You're where you are. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. So you either wallow around and hurt yourself in it, or you just get better. Anyway.
The end.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Horseshoes and Harriers. We've had a great time. I hope you have a wonderful week. Don't forget to be happy if you want to be. Leo Buscaglia once said, "A single rose can be my garden. A single friend, my world." I'm going to spend my weekend with that single friend who's my world. Brotato Jacob in a truck going to West Virginia.
He won't let me eat the candy that Mom sent because he said that's for the West Virginia trip people only.
Lol, I love his rules. Let it roll out, baby. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.